The wine glass slipped from my hand when she laughed, not with me, but at me. I stood frozen while a dozen faces waited to see if I'd crumble. My name is Daniel Richter, 32, from Hamburg. I teach history at a secondary school and spend most of my evenings restoring old bicycles in my apartment courtyard. I thought my life was modest but stable. Clara was the bright spark I thought I needed. She's 29, also a teacher, but in English literature. Everyone at school called her the charming one. When we started dating, she insisted she admired my discipline, my loyalty, my simple routines. At first, she seemed to cherish them. But over the months, cracks showed. She'd sneer at my patched jeans, make jokes about my grandpa hobby of fixing bikes. I brushed it off, convincing myself she was teasing. 2 weeks ago, my parents invited us both to a dinner at their home, along with close family friends. 12 people sat around the long oak table. The wine flowed, and at some point the topic turned to careers. My father asked Clara what she valued most in a partner. She smirked and said loudly, "Certainly not mediocrity. I mean, I could never settle for someone who earns less than €3,000 a month." There was a pause. Then she turned her head directly at me, eyes glittering. "Right, Daniel." The room erupted in awkward laughter. Some tried to cover it with coughs. I felt my stomach tighten, heat rising up my neck. My mother's face flushed crimson. My father's jaw stiffened. That was the moment I put my fork down. I didn't argue. I didn't defend. I simply said, "You're right, Clara. You'll never settle." I stood, excused myself calmly, and walked out into the crisp night air. The next day, I cancelled our upcoming trip to Lyon, withdrew the €870 I had already paid for the train and Airbnb, and transferred it back into my account. I sent her screenshots of the refunds with a single line: "Find someone less mediocre." Then I blocked her everywhere: phone, WhatsApp, Instagram. Within 48 hours, she showed up at the school parking lot, waiting by my bike. She shouted across the asphalt, demanding I listen. "You're overreacting. It was a joke," she cried, her voice echoing. I unlocked my bike without a word and rode off. That evening, she slipped an apology letter into my mailbox. Flowery words, perfume on the paper, promises of supporting each other's dreams. I tore it in half and tossed it into the bin. The aftermath surprised me. A colleague, Sophia, who teaches chemistry, invited me out for coffee. "I saw what happened at dinner," she whispered. "You didn't deserve that." We ended up talking for 3 hours about cycling trails along the Elbe, her love of photography, and life outside the school bubble. It was strange. Clara's betrayal didn't just end something. It cleared space for something else, something quieter and kinder. The wine glass may have slipped from my hand that night, but I never let it shatter. Clara did.